Hello, I'm Darius Udrys, Vice Rector for Development and Communications at the European Humanities University. Welcome to this EHU Public Conversation at the Novotel Vilnius Center. Today's guest is Dovydas Duoblys. He is a partner at Solid Supply, a Lithuanian company that provides furniture-based decor solutions for retailers. Exporting 70% of its products, the company has a strong Nordic orientation, both in terms of market and business culture. Mr. Duoblys was one of Nordic Business Report's greatest young leaders in 2014. He shares his experience of starting a company with Nordic values in Lithuania.
During the crisis, I understood that it's not very clever to compete with local competitors in local market, because it's just more question of who will give the less estimation for a client.
It's fighting over crumbs.
Yeah, and then I decided that we have to go for exports, and then I went to UK, to France, Russia, Sweden, Norway, and somehow in Sweden the communication and the culture maybe was the most similar to ours, and then we became to work with Swedish companies first, afterwards Norwegian, then Danish, German, and others. So you can work either with East, so that's Russian markets, or even with Western, so it's Nordics, Germany, right, or UK. So, working with East is very complicated. It's always something about doing some, illegal actions, and it's difficult to understand them for me. And on the other hand, in Scandinavia, for me, people are more open, are more like logical, are more business sensitive, and it's like you get in conversation and you can discuss actually the things and not the feelings, and it's more in Russia, it's like so that's why. And at the moment we have some business with Belarus, but for me it's so complicated. It's every time we're so especially when it comes to the payments, we always want to deduct the taxes somehow, and so it's so you cannot create anything, because then in every operation, in every action, you have to be involved by yourself, and you have to know everything, and so you cannot delegate actions like to your colleagues, and it's when you mostly work on your own. So I don't think it's a good idea. On the other hand, in Scandinavia, you can work as a team, you can share your work, you can share tasks, and then you can achieve results as a team, but not as an individual person. What we brought from Scandinavia to Lithuania, that with open book policy about estimations, we also became more open in our company. And in our company, you saw in our kitchen, in the office, we have big monitor where we show all the results for our colleagues, and everyone in the company knows about the turnover, the clients, the sales, the profit, everything. It's very open, because when it's open, we can think about it, and then we can make some decisions, and then everyone is very dedicated in only his role, and he doesn't know the whole picture, so it's difficult to make team decisions, team spirit and team and everything. So in my opinion, real team is when decisions are based on team, but not on one person, and when team can make impact. So that's why when you're transparent, when you're open, when you have team. If you're not transparent, your team is just on papers. Once a year in February we have all the companies review, and in that review we give all the balance sheets and all the numbers with how much we spend on salaries, coffee, wherever, about everything, and then we make decisions all how we should go further.
So the employees know the entire budget of the organization?
Yes.
Does that include your salary?
Yes.
Interesting. Not a typical practice.
Not a typical practice, but we think that it creates more value than hiding it. Because when you're hiding something, then you're on a different team, you know, not by space, but you're like, we're a team. So now we're a team, but I will not tell you something, but you have to tell me everything, you know. So it's
so there's a disbalance.
so it doesn't work like this. It has to work both ways, you know. And when you also feel when your colleague is something hiding from you, because you're transparent. So it's, you know, it's when the team when team begins to work as a team, but not as only paper value. No, we're a team and we will do everything together. But it's more about sharing. For me, it's difficult to understand that thing about that Scandinavians are, in general, we are open, but we are open from certain time. It's not like from the beginning. It's from certain time and until certain time. For them, it's not important to pay the tax for government, but it is important that other people know that we pay tax for government. We did sales in different ways, with cold sales, cold calls, you know, cold visits. And then we noticed that the best sales is in Scandinavia is through recommendation. Then I ask my present client, can you please recommend me someone? But not just to tell me the names, but the client that you can bring me to, and you can say that you know the client, you know me, and we can work together. And then, if you share those, you know, mistakes and your client knows that you're a trustworthy partner, that if something will happen, you always report and you will never hide it. So then he can bring you to the next client. But if not, he will never do this. We have a salesman, Swedish guy in Sweden, and when we were discussing with him how we should represent our company, we wanted to represent it as Scandinavian company. But he said that we have to represent as Baltic states company, because Scandinavians look at Baltic state countries as people are hardworking, the products are quality, and the prices are good. Today the world is changing so fast, and I think that our brain capacity cannot adopt all those things. So the most important thing is to always think, if the rule now I'm implementing, I'm thinking of its right rule, is it still valid for these days, or it was like in the past? Because of all those changes in the world, and those changes are technological change and demographical change.
I hope you enjoyed this EHU Public Conversation. Please join us again for discussions with prominent individuals known for their thoughtful application of ideas from the arts and sciences. For more information about the European Humanities University, visit www.ehu.lt. So long and thanks for watching.